If you know your friend is using you, why are you still continuing the friendship? Wake up! Friendships of convenience are opportunism and not true bonds. On the affirmative team, we have Thomas and I. And on the opposition, we have Ling Yi and Fauzi.
Friends.
Vagina. Alright, I'm going to quote a very famous man, Aristotle. He has classified friendships into 3 categories, of which 2 I'm going to classify into friendships of convenience, alright? First one is friendships of utility. This is when we derive a mutual benefit from the friendship, and when the benefit diminishes for one or both parties, that is when the friendship fades. No, cannot argue, this is Aristotle, he say one, okay? Number 2, friendships of pleasure. And this exists when we share a common interest or pursuit that we both enjoy, but that may be our only connection with the other person. Friendships of utility tend to occur more frequently among the old in forms of business partners, work colleagues, and in the young people in the form of young high school sports teammates, college buddies, summer friends, etc. Now, the third group, which we would like to define as the true bond, would be the friendship of the good. This group includes both mutual benefit and shared pleasure, but it is not based upon either. It is based upon virtue. You see the good in them and they in you, and these friendships take time and intention to build and maintain, and they can be enduring and impactful, and they may last a lifetime. A study done in 2021 found that valuing friendships is generally associated with better health, well-being, and happiness. In many cases, placing a high value on friendship was particularly important for health and well-being in settings typically associated with lower well-being. And the findings in this survey highlighted the importance of considering not only how much people value friendships, but also the situating social relationships within broader individual and cultural contexts. Now, a study in 2001 found that people have evolved mechanisms that motivate them to establish friendships with other people. These mechanisms could, however, be exploited for other goals. One such goal is mating. More specifically, in the disguise of friendship, individuals may approach someone they are interested in having as a friend because they are more interested in having them as a mate. This in turn would be very damaging for people seeking true friends, as it makes them vulnerable to exploitation, and they may end up being surrounded by opportunistic friends, and as such they may not gain support in times of needs. And these costs would then translate into selection pressure on individuals to evolve mechanisms that would enable us to screen out such people.
Based off all what she's saying, there is a reason why there are terms such as acquaintances, colleagues, or as some of you, colleagues, and transactional, all these which I deem as transactional relationships. So the definition of friend based on Oxford is a person whom one has a bond of mutual affection. Mutual and affection. If it's just transactions, right, it is not affectionate anymore. Okay, call me idealistic, but if it's a friend, means I will go down at 3 a.m. to have a chit chat, to lend them a crying shoulder, or listen to their problems, and I jump in front of a car for them. I treat them birthday meals, right? It's unconditional, it's safe, it's a bond. But friendships of convenience, like your workplace, your classmates, without proper tests of tribulations, it means nothing. After 2 years, no more already. Right? Sure, y'all would have been friends for the 2 years, but that's why the topic states a true bond. Was it a true bond or not if the moment it goes into low maintenance mode, y'all don't even care about each other anymore? So I don't even know half of my secondary school friends' surnames anymore. Okay, let's be honest lah. But then there are those which you do happen to develop true bonds with, right? So I won't discount the fact that in a workplace you might meet such people. And usually with those, it becomes very obvious that you tell them, hey, we should hang out outside of work. Hey, we should hang out on the weekend where it's not in school, right? You bring it out of the place of convenience and develop and define the relationship, and that's when you develop that true bond. And the last point I want to make is on the term of opportunism. Like when you supposedly make such friends in such workplaces, you never know if it can be trusted or not because of the possibility of manipulations, right? So maybe they just want to be fake. They just want to fake it as your friend because they can get certain advantages. For example, we do work together and then they submit my report and then they say like, oh, it's they who did it. And then you won't even know.
Study found that when people who are motivated by specific factors to make friends do not have these factors satisfied, the relationship will be more likely to end. How is that a true bond if your friendship has an expiration date and you know it because you are unable to provide something that the other person is looking for in terms of monetary or anything else that they're looking for.
If
Friendship will not
friends
last.
are not around, friendships won't last.
1, go!
So I am going to argue here that almost all relationships in life start out in convenience, but can evolve into real and solid relationships, all right? Now, these relationships actually often arise from shared circumstances rather than a deep emotional connection. Let's be honest, okay? Meeting someone, love at first sight don't exist lah. Don't exist, okay? So when you meet someone for the first time, it is obviously because you are in a similar environment, you're sharing a similar circumstances. For example, if you had a classmate where you were working on a project, right? You're forced to work on a project together with your classmate. You're not necessarily friends, but you a potential convenient friendship lah. Again, this is why I talked about, when friendships are convenience, they often characterized by a specific shared purpose or need. So that's where we begin. When it comes to being friends or friendship or convenience, right? These shared experiences can actually foster bonding. And through regular experience and interactions, even if initially driven by convenience, can create a foundation for deeper connection. All right, so working together on a project, for example, or maybe you're navigating parenthood, with your fellow neighbor, you got same age kids, they can actually lead to mutual trust and understanding. So are you here to dismiss that while initially convenient in the beginning, cannot develop into a trust or bond or friendship that can actually last a lifetime? And of course, the other thing that I want to say, there is value in temporary friendships. There is value in friends, all right? Even temporary or situational friendships can provide valuable support and contribute to you having a sense of belonging, especially during life transitions, all right? When you're facing with challenging circumstances in your life, suddenly one day you realize, wow, I'm having such a bad day, but actually you have a colleague who's going through the same thing as you. Then they can have these conversations and have that sense of community and support. That can help people navigate your new environments, for example, or even cope with difficult situations. I don't know if you have any other points that you want to add on to that. Go for it, girl.
Sure. Let's define
That's nice.
true bond. True bond, yeah. What is true bond? True bond, is it owning deep emotional connection?
Yes.
Shared experience, vulnerability?
Yes.
No!
Yes.
True bond can be
No.
just some good time together. Right?
Ooh.
Picture this. 2 people meet each other in a bar, have some tequila, get drunk, have a one-night stand. They might not know each other very well. They might not be emotionally connecting, but physically, they were bonding.
That's right.
They were bonding well, and that was true bonding. We can't deny that. So if 2 strangers can bond over tequila shots and questionable life choices,
That's right.
who to say that convenient friendships aren't legit, right? That's 1. 2, bonding over convenience is natural human behavior,
Correct.
like what Fauzi mentioned over and over again. Personal experience. I met my husband on Tinder, convenient.
Love that.
And then I met him out of all the guys I swiped right with. Convenient, right? Because he was making himself available to me for chats for days. It's convenient for me. So did that not fruit into a meaningful
Yes.
relationship? Yes, it did. Basically, friendships out of convenience is very natural. It's a natural human behavior. Why are we calling it fake? Right? 3, prioritizing convenience can be a sign of boundaries, not opportunism. Okay, just because someone likes convenience doesn't mean they're lazy or using you. Yeah, it could mean that they just got healthy boundaries. Like, for example, they don't want to travel 40 minutes to meet you because Grab is expensive, right? Traffic is terrible. So they'd rather spend their time maybe calling you from home or spending time with them by themselves. It's called self-care. It's not selfish. There's a difference between opportunism and boundaries. If friendships of convenience are opportunism, then all friendships are. Okay, opportunism implies selfish intent, using somebody for personal gain. Like you said, you will do anything for your friend. You will travel, you will jump in front of a train for that. For what? Because of what? Because you like this friend, right? Because this friend inspires you. Because this friend has good quality that makes you feel great about the world. That is something intangible, but that is still something that you want in return.
Shut it.
Okay, you mentioned that friendships of convenience, you can then start to develop true bonds, right? There is basically a line between friendship of convenience into going to true bonds. Because friendship of convenience is limited by its own definition. Yes, they can be a medium to find true bonds, but it's exactly that you would then take effort to inconvenience yourself to develop them true bonds, right? And that's why if it's just convenient, it is for opportunity. You are just transactional. You guys are just doing for the sake of some kind of like benefit that each one can get. Nothing wrong with that. But is there a true bond the moment someone lacks being able to give something within that dynamic? Then to Lingy's example of having that one night stand being a true bond, girl, you are the Lulu. Because if having some tequila shots and you can't even remember the color of his eyes being a true bond, a bond needs to be mutual, a connection of two people. And maybe you think, wow, the sex damn good or whatever, but actually he or she out there complaining to someone else, right? Then it's not a true bond already. It's a fake bond. What I would say is, you might have felt connected in that moment. But you know, sometimes I get my 5G connection, sometimes broken up. I wouldn't call that a bond. I call that just a connection, a momentary one, in fact. A bond is almost coming together as one, sharing that same dynamic, that same relationship. So a momentary connection as such would not be counted lah. You can say that, wow, I really bonded with him, but you try bond with him again. Now he gone already. No number, no address, nothing.
Adding on to that, Ling Yi mentioned that if all friendships benefit you, which they do, then it's a friendship of convenience. And I must refute this because a lack of altruism does not equate to a friendship of convenience. Like I mentioned in my statement, my opening statement, Aristotle explained that the third group of friends is called the friendship of the good, where there is mutual benefit and there is shared pleasure, but it is not based upon either. It does have these two factors, but it is not based upon that. It is based upon virtue. You see the good in them and they see the good in you. That is the third category, which we classify as a true bond.
Basically, true bonds can still be transactional, but it is more than that.
Yes.
Then friendship of convenience? Just transactions.
Yes, it's a friendship of utility or a friendship of pleasure.
Just because I pay at the cashier and I say hello to the auntie does not mean we have a true bond. It's just transactions.
The friendship of love, which you were refuting just now, right? You were saying that it's two people who are attracted to each other because of virtue, right? You appreciate this person.
They see the good in each other.
They see the good in each other.
Yeah.
And seeing this good of each other, seeing the good in you makes me feel fulfilled, makes me feel happy, makes me feel, damn, that's a good friend, right? These feelings itself, is it beneficial for me? It is. So in an intangible way of looking at things, I think it's still beneficial to me. Hence, I would categorize them as the same. Yes, of course, everybody wants friendship that is so pure that I want nothing from you. But that is not true. The truth is everybody wants something and everybody will get something out of friendship, out of any kind of relationship.
No, but this is a cyclical argument because we are arguing that yes, a friendship of the good includes mutual pleasure, mutual utility.
Yeah.
You do derive benefits from each other out of that friendship. That is not denied. We have agreed that from the very start. So what is your point then?
My point is that if we are categorizing all friendships of convenience, opportunism, then I'm categorizing all friendships as opportunism, which I disagree. That's why I'm saying friendships of convenience are not opportunism.
I think it's okay. The thing to me is that it might be okay to classify various friendships as opportunistic. But then over here, the question statement would then be you cannot fully generalize all friendships, but the friendships you make through convenience, is that for opportunistic purposes? And would that then be classified as a true bond? Right? And in that statement, I would say no. If we want to look at the bigger picture and go, all friendships are opportunistic, sure. But then in some of those friendships, there might be true bonds that are formed. In some of those friendships, it might not be as convenient to have been developed. In some of those friendships, which are then conveniently created, those might be more skewed towards opportunistic natures and solely limited to those opportunistic natures and not then forming a true bond.
Yes. So all friendships, every single friendship has mutual benefit, or it benefits one party more than the other or whatsoever. There is shared, there is
Venn
pleasure.
diagram.
All of them share it. But out of all of that, there is one small category in this where this friendship, we actually love each other, we see the good in each other. It is built and based on virtue. And that alone, because it has this, it is not a friendship of convenience. That is what makes it special. Like Fauzi said, most friendships evolve. We have covered that before. We did say friendships do evolve. A lot of them may start out with specific motivating factors as to why maybe I want to be Thomas' friend because I think he damn handsome. I thought he was single. Then after that, we friends. I found out, he has a girlfriend. I said, never mind.
Oh.
Who? Right.
Hey, that's not a topic statement. Can we please? Yeah, so, okay, let's give more examples.
So based on whatever Fauzi said just now, does it mean that you have true bonds with every single person you have ever met in your entire life? That you're friends with everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
In degrees, in various
Yeah.
degrees. I feel like we're looking at true bonds as an absolute, like
Yes,
it's
I
a
have to rescue you
100%.
from
Yeah,
fire,
you
then
are
we are
like
bonded.
you're the princess. I will forever rescue you. But I feel like true bonds can come in varying degrees. And the other thing that I want to talk about is that people do change. If you're looking at true bonds as an absolute, unchangeable, and unmoved, then will people
point.
always be the same? And will your true bonds always exist? Will we be vulnerable to change? That is just human nature, lah, right?
Yes.
True bonds will go away. So if they, let's say, go away if because different circumstances change, will you consider that a true friendship or just a convenient friendship? So now we're looking at true bonds in a very fulfill factor A, B, C, D, E, F, G to be a true friendship. Why can't it be a true bond if, let's say, it just fulfilled one of the factors that you needed?
Yes.
I feel like that is where we can agree lah that true bonds don't have to have everything. It
So
could have
if
one.
I have a friend who was just using me to buy her stuff, she was just using me for her money, which I used to have, by the way.
Okay.
I have friends who used to use me for my money, even though I wasn't even rich, by the way, but they would make me pay for a lot of things. Does that mean that it's a true bond?
If you see it as a true
Yeah.
bond, then it's a true bond. Because some people like to be used to feel self-worth. Used and wanted, sometimes interchangeably.
Agree.
right?
Maybe
Depends on your definition. If
I think in this sense it is not a true bond because the moment my friend realizes that I'm not willing to spend that money on her, she will not be my friend anymore.
then she's not your friend. That's
And
not
it's
even
not a true bond. There you go.
No, that's not a
You've just
friend.
proven it.
That's not a friend.
No, she
Hence
was
not
my
even
friend,
a friend
when
of
I was willing to
convenience.
pay. But the moment I stopped
Wait, how
wanting
long
to
did
pay,
you stay in this friendship?
many years.
Then?
until I stopped.
Then?
until I stopped paying.
No, but maybe there was a connection. Like maybe she
Yeah,
thought that it was
exactly, and that's-
No, see, so the thing is that you guys are looking at as long as there was a connection, as long as there is benefits, it becomes a true bond. But we are defining it as that
No.
this true bond cannot be so casual. It cannot just be, oh, because I go to work, because I've helped you out and you've helped me out, there is a bond that has been created. The word bond is something that is stronger than just a transaction, an opportunistic dynamic, right? This is what our definition is.
That's
Yeah, and that should be the argument lah. That should be the argument here.
If every friendship was like easily like discarded, then why are we even arguing for friendships?
But it is.
But
There are
friendship-
studies that have shown that friendships are very easily discardable based on different things. For example, a lack of common interest is one common reason to terminate it. This was proved in 2001 in a study. In 1984 and then again in 2001 and 2004, 3 different studies have shown that consistent with a prediction that friendships, that a person is not going to be a supportive friend, people are very willing to terminate the friendship.
And I just want to add that I think friendships are fleeting, right? So in that moment, you might be friends, but if you've never developed a bond, there is no meaning to go beyond that friendship to inconvenience yourself to develop something even bigger than that.
And 2 studies in
time's
19
up.
So for this round, we're gonna do a 2-1. So Thomas will stay, and then against Fauzi and Ling Yi. And
Oh my
we'll switch.
goodness. We will switch. We will switch.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually don't have too much.
Now you know our struggle.
Yeah. The topic statement is that friendship or convenience are for opportunism and not true bonds. And my stance will be that as much as they can be for opportunistic purposes, they are still true bonds, right? And sounds familiar?
How
Very
bizarre
familiar.
is this?
So I think based on all the points that we have mentioned just now, the main thing that I want to build upon is that number one, a true bond can be actually one way. Means one person can feel very strongly about the relationship where the other person does not, and it can still be a true bond because of the impact that this person has left on them. For example, for me, right, Ling Yi used to be my previous boss. Let's say you don't see me as a friend anymore, but as someone who has been through the company, I would still define our relationship as a true bond for me based off of how much has been imparted to me in terms of knowledge, in terms of experience, and all the things that I've gone through. 30 years later, she might not remember who I am, but I would still, if I would still remember her and the impact that she has left me, that bond is still true to me. Another point which is kind of similar would be the fact that true bonds can even last when the other person is not around. So friendships or convenience assume that you are in the same place with the person, hence opportunistic, hence they don't allow for true bonds to happen because you need to inconvenience yourself to develop a true bond, which was my previous argument. But in this case, whether you inconvenience yourself or not, this true bond can still last when this person is not around. For example, if your colleague has quit your job, and this person is not around anymore, that true bond can still have lasted beyond the friendship, beyond the convenience. Make sense so far?
No.
No? Fantastic lah. As long as I hear typing over there, I'm good.
I mean, at the end of the day, when we talk about friendships, what we want is friendships that are genuine, have emotional investment in it. And that is the one thing that friendships of convenience do not have. For example, right, friendships of convenience are really mainly motivated by self-interest. All right, the primary driving force behind these friendships often personal gain. So you are essentially selfish. You do not care about the other person. As long as you get the benefit for it, that's all you need. All right. So for example, right, you might befriend someone to, potentially ask this person to help you do a test or to help you cheat, for example. And if the person help you, the only benefit is to you, not to your friend, to your friendship of your friend of convenience. And really, this focus remains on what an individual can extract from that friendship. So it's not so much about a mutual understanding of what each other can get from the friendship, but it's really mainly on your own part. Most of the times, friendship of convenience, they lack emotional depth. All right, so most of the things about emotional intimacy, vulnerability that characterize genuine friendships do not exist. Conversations that you have with your convenient friend might revolve around like shared circumstances or tasks with limited exploration into personal feelings, values, or experiences. Yeah, this is also something that, is lacking from the idea of a true bond when it comes to a friendship that you really want to last long.
So if I may dispute on this
Yes,
point
dispute.
already, your genuinity will differ from person to person, okay? Some people would not have a high enough EQ to relate to the emotional factors of said true bonds that you are mentioning. For example, one can be a business partner, and the only benefit in such case would be a business connection or helping me develop my network or giving me an opportunity. And still a true bond can be achieved, just that it's a true bond in a business context and not in a friendship context. So we didn't need to define a true bond to be a true friendship bond or true relationship partner bond or anything, but it's just that from your platform from the medium of being a friendship through convenience, you might have been opportunistic, and now does it develop a true bond that is developed between you two, right? There is a true bond then in such context because both of you serve the purpose and an impactful purpose that would really benefit both our lives. So based off of my definition, a business relationship would then qualify as a true bond.
Sure, but we're not talking about a business relationship. We're talking about friendships of convenience, which is a relationship between friends that was built, right? So this is
Out of
irrelevant.
convenience.
Out of convenience, sure. When you talk about friends, what's our genuine feeling? We want your friend to love you for who you are, right? Not love you for what you can give, right? If I tell you today, Fauzi, I'm only friends with you because you can give me jobs, right? How would that make you feel?
Oh, sad. Very
Right?
sad.
Extremely sad.
Who am I?
And yeah, there will be no bond. There will be no bond between us. Bad bond, yes. No true bond. Like not the kind of bond that you expect out of a friendship. Because you are knowingly using someone to gain something for yourself. And you're trying to call that friendship.
Friendships of convenience are often conditional. They are always thriving as long as the shared circumstances or mutual benefit arises or persists. For example, the business partner, for example. If let's say the business partner don't need you and then decide like, okay, we're going to part our ways, would you consider that a bond? Or is it just at the point of time? A time where it's convenient, circumstantial, and I can admit, it is very sad lah. And very depressing to know that people are here using the name or sullying the name of friendships for the purpose of their own benefit.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that is our topic statement, right? So if you are saying that friendships don't count your workplace relationships and stuff like that, immediately I'd go into the appendix and mention what is stated. For example, workplace friendships, friendship for social appearances, roommates, friends with benefits, friends you contact when you need something from them.
Yeah.
So all these are qualified in our debate right now, which we talk about these friendships. You might define your friendships as something different, but in this case, the friendships of convenience has all this within the same umbrella already. And through these would come then to the topic statement again of can you develop true bonds from there? right?
That's
and
not
the
the
answer
No.
That's not a topic
We
statement.
can develop true bonds. We can develop that one. We agree.
Yeah,
Okay.
But
correct.
they
Then
are not.
are they true bonds?
They are not
They're not.
true bonds.
Yeah,
Not-
and
not
so
in the
since
beginning.
then I need to just repeat all my arguments again, because once again, true bonds don't need to be defined as something so deep. It is as simple as having a bond. Again, the definition of bond is that it is as simple as having something which is a shared interest, an experience, or a feeling. So it can be a true bond to me as long as it has impacted me enough through my life or their life, whether it's mutually exclusive or not, it can survive. So whether it is within a workplace, within a class, or as long as someone even lent me a pen and that becoming a core memory through my childhood days and remembering this person for life, that person won't remember me at all.
Bond is mutual.
But-
Yours is one way.
Yeah.
So after much pondering, y'all are at a tie.
Oh!
Congratulations.
Thomas made 1 point and y'all made 2 points, but Thomas 1 point is 2 points.
Congratulations to all of us.
So we share.
We share. So we'll just.
Well, yeah, I don't mind.
We're not convenient friends.
But we fought for 10
Thank
minutes for 1
you.
point each is wild.
We have shared memories.
That's right.
This
This, is
is
going
a-
to be our bond.
This is
according
a
to
bond.
Thomas.
Yes, correct. This very moment is a
True
bond.
bond.
10 years down the road, I'll remember this moment for the rest of my life.
I might not.
I will not. I will not.
So is it a true bond? Don't know.
Don't know.
So
You're
as
defined
we-
in the comments.
As we won trophy for humans, this situation. Let us know what you think of this episode. Comment, like, subscribe, share everything you want to do. Let us know what you want to hear us arguing about next, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye, guys.
Bye.